A long time ago, in the splendor of ancient Greece, when the gods walked among men and legends were forged in every corner of the world, there was a priestess called Medusa. Her story is a tale of beauty and curse, of vengeful gods and bold heroes. Let me take you back in time, to a world where mythical creatures and intertwined destinies dictated the course of history. Hello people, welcome to Stories, Curiosities and Mysteries. Today we will see a jellyfish story, but before starting, don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell and leave a good like. It will help me a lot to move forward. Well, without further ado, what to say, let's start. At the dawn of time, in ancient Greece, when the gods walked among mortals and mythology wove its rich weave into the fabric of the universe, there was a priestess whose beauty surpassed the limits of the divine. Her name echoed like a whisper among the columns of an ancient temple, and her face, bathed in moonlight, was so dazzling that it was said that even the gods envied her radiance. This woman, with her golden hair that flowed like rivers of gold and her blue eyes like the cloudless sky, was known as Medusa. Medusa was a priestess of the temple of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. Her dedication and beauty were unmatched, but mortal life is fleeting and often capricious. The story of Medusa begins with divine envy, when her charms incurred the wrath of Athena, a goddess who tolerated no competition in beauty. Athena, in her celestial realm, watched Medusa with growing resentment. The mortals' praise of the priestess echoed in the heavens, eclipsing even the goddess. Athena, one of the proudest deities of Olympus, could not bear to be challenged in her own domain. She then decided to punish Medusa and teach her a lesson that would resonate in the annals of mythology. One day, while Medusa was officiating in the temple, Athena descended from the heights with the majesty of a divine storm. The goddess with piercing eyes and implacable heart looked at Medusa with the fury of 1,000 storms. In a gesture that shook the foundations of the temple, Athena transformed Medusa's golden hair into poisonous snakes, her skin became pale as the light of the moon, and her eyes, once a refuge of hope, became red orbs that dripped with curses. Medusa, realizing her own transformation, fell to her knees. The snakes that now made up her mane writhed and hissed, a physical manifestation of her new curse. Athena, satisfied with her punishment, exiled the now monstrous Medusa to the remote island of Sarpedon, where she would live in darkness, far from the eyes of those who once admired her. Sarpedon became Medusa's prison. An island shrouded in mist, where the waves of the sea moaned as witnesses of her misfortune. The fallen priestess became the custodian of her own curse, a creature feared by all those who had known her beauty. Her new abode was a grim reflection of her former life, a constant reminder of the fragility of beauty and the ferocity of divine wrath. Years passed on the lonely island, and the story of Medusa faded in the echo of the wind and waves. However, fate had more chapters in store for the tragic priestess. Greek mythology would intertwine her story with that of a young hero whose destiny would become intertwined with that of Medusa in a way that not even the gods could have anticipated. Perseus, son of Zeus and the mortal princess Danae, was born on the island of Seriphos under extraordinary circumstances. The story of his birth was marked by tragedy and divine intervention, as his grandfather, King Acrisius, fearing a prophecy that foretold his own death at the hands of his grandson, imprisoned his daughter of him Danae in a bronze tower. However, even in the darkness of that prison, love and divine grace prevailed, and Zeus visited Danae in the form of a shower of gold, giving rise to Perseus. As Perseus grew up, his life became entangled with the threads of the gods and their whims. Polydectes, king of Seriphos, became an unwanted suitor of Danae. Seeking to get rid of the obstacle that young Perseus represented, Polydectes devised a cunning plan. Through trickery, he convinced Perseus to bring him the head of Medusa, a seemingly impossible task meant to seal the young hero's disgrace. The gods, observing Perseus' bravery and his divine status, decided to intervene. Hermes, the cunning messenger, gave him winged sandals that would allow him to fly, and Hades, lord of the underworld, provided him with a helmet of invisibility that would hide him from prying eyes. A polished shield and a magic bag from the Hesperides completed the divine gift. Armed with these gifts, Perseus set out on a daring quest that would take him to the island of the Gorgons. Along his way, he faced trials and challenges that would test his mettle and newly acquired abilities. From the Grias to the Titan Atlas, each challenge brought him closer to his destiny. The island of the Gorgons emerged on the horizon like a fearsome specter. Perseus, determination burning in his eyes, infiltrated the creature's lair. Using the helmet of invisibility, he sneaked up on the Gorgons. He knew that looking into Medusa's eyes would mean his doom, so he used his polished shield as a mirror to avoid her deadly gaze. With his heart pounding, Perseus advanced towards the most feared Gorgon, Medusa. The snakes in her hair writhed in agitation, but the fallen priestess could not see the intruder thanks to the helmet of invisibility. With a quick and precise movement, Perseus cut off Medusa's head. The blood of the Gorgon, when mixed with the foam of the sea, gave rise to Pegasus, the majestic winged horse. Perseus, with Medusa's head safe in the magic bag, began his return to Seriphos. On his way, he encountered Princess Andromeda, condemned to be sacrificed as an offering to a sea monster as divine punishment. Perseus, using Medusa's head, petrified the monster and rescued the princess, earning the gratitude of her kingdom. Back at Seriphos, Perseus faced another surprise. Polydectes, the king who had orchestrated the impossible mission, was still a threat. Divine Justice, manifested in the head of Medusa, fell upon the evil king, petrifying him and freeing Danae from his oppression. Although Perseus' quest focused on saving her mother and liberating her kingdom, Medusa's story did not end with her beheading. The head of the Gorgon, with its petrifying gaze even after death, possessed a unique power. Perseus, with respect and reverence, offered the head of Medusa to Athena, the goddess who had caused her transformation. Athena, in her divine wisdom, decided to incorporate Medusa's head into her aegis, the shield she carried in battle. Medusa's mortal gaze thus became a symbol of protection and divine power, an eternal manifestation of the duality between beauty and curse. The story of Medusa, although tragic, would not be forgotten in time. It became a myth, a reminder of the fragility of beauty and the consequences of defying the gods. The island of Sarpedon, where Medusa found her last refuge, became a place of legends, shrouded in mystery and fear. Perseus, because of his bravery and triumph over the Gorgon, was elevated to the status of legendary hero. His story, woven from the threads of gods and mortal challenges, added to the vast tapestry of Greek mythology. But Medusa, though petrified in death, continued to live through her immortal gaze, a perpetual reminder of the intricate dance between beauty and curse in the realm of gods and men. And this was one of the several jellyfish stories, and what do you think, was it real or not? Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Until next time.